I am so glad to see all of you here, virtually and in person. And we are all saying hi, of course, because so many of us haven't seen each other in a long time. I'm glad you're here, and I'm proud to represent Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor as Cantor Carol Garrett. This Shabbat is very special because we are focusing on religious freedom. Tonight, we are being sponsored by Jews for a Secular Democracy and the Jewish Women and Religious Freedom in Florida's initiative, and supported by Jewish Women's Foundation of the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County. We have many special guests with us here tonight. We have my friend Deborah Tendrick, the Democratic nominee for District 89 with us. Joe Costello couldn't make it. However, we also have my dear friend Maya Malay, a Tibetan Buddhist who's gonna come up and speak a little bit. Thank you, Maya. We also have Sandon Chevlin, our musician, and Josh Egosi, who is playing the drums here, as well as Ruth Nodiff, who maybe will come up later, our concert pianist in-house. Thank you, Madison, for your hard work behind the scenes and with Facebook, YouTube, and our camera. And thank you to our greeters and to Valerie, who's getting everybody set with all of their parts. Thank you, Valerie. And also our newest members, thank you. Thank you for our greeters, our readers, our ONEG support, our newest board members, our newest members, and to all of you, because we couldn't be here without you. And another special thank you to Sharon Leibovitz for helping to plan and organize this event with me. I grew up with a friend, Deborah Leibovitz, so I often say her name wrong. So sorry about that, Sharon. But okay, so what exactly is Shabbat for religious freedom, you might be asking? Shabbat is both a commemoration of creation and a celebration of freedom. A religious freedom Shabbat honors and teaches about the foundational importance that religious freedom holds for the Jewish people today and throughout history. Many of today's most important issues, such as LGBTQ plus equality, abortion access and reproductive care, public education free from religious coercion, and more, share a common challenge in the way religious fundamentalists have breached the wall of separation between church and state. When public policy is based on one religion's perspective over all others, it violates our religious freedom and harms all of us. Acknowledging and understanding that this shared challenge across issues is an essential step toward positively addressing these concerns we have for you tonight, Shabbat for religious freedom. So our very first song, Bringing the Light, as soon as you get it, please sing along with us. Bringing the Light. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the light of Shabbat. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the light of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. May you have a peaceful day. Shabbat Shalom. May you have a restful day. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We welcome you to our Shabbat.
Our first reading, the person wasn't here, so I'll read for her. In the United States, the importance of religious freedom cannot be understated. The founding of our country was based on this value, and the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects us all with freedom from and for religion. Patty Bibian Aronoff.
No, don't take it out. It's on. It should be.
It's not loud enough.
I'm going to go.
Oh, okay, I really had to push, okay, sorry. The uniqueness of Shabbat. The concept of Shabbat was one of the most remarkable developments in human history. It was the first acknowledgement that people need a weekly break from life's toils. Jews invented the weekend. And because the concept of Shabbat was also incorporated into Christianity and Islam, billions have benefited.
The next reader is Nancy Beyer.
Other religions celebrate their Sabbaths on other days of the week and in different ways. We are thankful for the freedom to celebrate our religious traditions as we see fit, without having others define for us when Shabbat begins and how we should observe our weekly day of rest.
Please read together in the
me.
bold.
We recall with heavy hearts that many eras of Jewish history when our ancestors had to hide or forego altogether their Shabbat observances. And we commit ourselves during this Religious Freedom Shabbat to remain vigilant in defense of our hard-won freedoms for ourselves today and for future generations.
That was a quote from Paul Golan. Thank you.
We'd like to call up now for doing the Shabbat candles, Rochelle Stern.
Hi, everyone. As we rest for our work on this Sabbath, let us deepen ourselves and renew our world by engaging in labors of love, fostering and transforming family and friendship, community and humanity. As we journey together through life, may such flames as these light our ways and ever remind us to share the warmth of our hearts and the hearts of our family. The rainbow of our wisdom and the radiance of our inspiration with light, let us bless life. Say the blessing with me.
There's somebody on Zoom that's making noise in the background.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. I'd like to call up for saying the Kiddush, Kimberly McCrary. Microphone, yeah.
I'll start here, I'll go there.
Thank you.
Kiddush means sanctification, or literally setting apart. Blessed is the light in life, and blessed is the fruit of the vine. Blessed are our ancestors who blessed us with their traditions, with love, and took pleasure in us. With love, they have given us this sacred Sabbath as an inheritance and in memory of creation. We thus raise this cup of wine and recite the words of Kiddush. Please join me in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei puri hagafen.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. So now we have the invitation to prayer. We begin with I Am Light. Please join as soon as you catch on to the song. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. With me. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin in the insides outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. We are divinity defined. We are the God on the inside. We are a star, a piece of it all. We are light. Sing with me. We are light. 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 We are who we've been waiting for. I'd like, thank you.
Our next responsive reader is our new co-president of L'Dor Va-Dor, Ruth Sabo. Give her a warm welcome as our new co-president, please.
Thank you. Thanks, and Shabbat Shalom to you all. In modern times, over the last few hundred years, Jews have been persecuted for their beliefs and religion.
Advocating for and protecting our religious freedom is vital to Jewish survival.
Whether walking down the streets of our neighborhoods or through the doors of our holy spaces, freedom and safety for any of us depend on the freedom and safety of all of us.
May we always be free to worship and believe as we choose. As Jews, most of us believe that every person, no matter what our religion, where we come from, or what we look like, deserves to live with freedom and safety and belonging. The introduction to the Baruch Hu. If you'd like to rise in body, mind, or spirit, if it be your custom, we bless the beginning of our prayers. And we ask, are you awake? Are you awake? Are you ready to pray? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yididai-dai-dai 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 Yididai-dai-dai. You may be seated.
Our next reader is Deborah Tenrich.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
American Jews and religious freedom. Jews have thrived in America like in no other diaspora community, thanks in large part to the religious freedom enshrined in the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution.
The First Amendment
guarantees both the free exercise of religion and protection from the establishment of any state religion. This dual commitment ensures that each individual has the right to their own beliefs and practices free from government interference and coercion, so long as their practice does not infringe on the rights of others.
Well, it was true.
Go ahead.
Continue.
The Founding Fathers recognized that true liberty includes the freedom to worship, or not, according to one's own conscience. In his letter to Hebrew congregation in Newport, Rhode Island, George Washington affirmed that the government gives to bigotry no sanction, to persecution no assistance, ensuring liberty of conscience for all.
Amen. Thank you, Deborah.
Our next reader is Laurie Schluff.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thomas Jefferson echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the separation of church and state in his letter to the Danbury Baptist Association. He declared that the American people had built a wall of separation between church and state, protecting individuals from the imposition of others' religious beliefs.
In honoring religious freedom,
We uphold the
aspirational vision of our country.
A nation where diverse beliefs coexist, where laws and policies respect this plurality, and where every individual's rights are protected. Let us commit to safeguarding these freedoms and ensure that our society remains a place of inclusion, respect, and true liberty for all.
Thank you. Amen. If it be your custom, rise for the Shema and join with me. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Baruch Shem Kivod, Shem Kivod, Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. And you shall love Adonai your God with all of your heart, with all your soul, and with all of your might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you're sitting in your house, and when you walk on the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes. And thou shalt write them on the doorpost of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that you remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. Thank you. Essential religious freedoms. A vision for true religious freedom includes freedom of bodily autonomy, reproductive rights and abortion access, freedom to love, full LGBTQ plus and gender equality, freedom to learn, public education free from religious coercion, freedom of belief, public policy free from religious coercion. I'm introducing the new blessing for religious freedom. I really love this. Let us be strong and let us strengthen each other to preserve our freedom to live as we choose. Chazak, chazak, v'ni chazek, lesh mor al ke rutenu, lekiyot beor ritzon enu. By Rabbi Adom Chalom.
Our next reader will be Valerie Jett.
Shabbat celebrates freedom from religious tyranny. Shabbat celebrates both creation and the liberation from Egypt.
Resting from creation gives us a chance to be who we want to be without fighting for survival every second of our lives.
We can give thanks, share moments with others in peace, and generally experience life in a unique way that is not bound by the labor of creation.
True freedom means being able to make choices for ourselves about ourselves.
Anything less is a form of slavery to some degree, antithetical to all the Shabbat stands for. By Rabbi Joshua Neely.
Thank you, Valerie, and thank you for organizing everybody tonight. So the next song we're going to do is Standing at the Sea. Normally, it's a song for Passover, but it's also a song about freedom, you know, when they reached the other side and Miriam was, you know, singing and saying Mi Chamocha. So this is another version of Mi Chamocha, but it really is about freedom. I would love if you would get up and dance and clap and just move around when we do this. So, and sing along, please. Standing at the sea, Mika Mocha, standing at the sea, Mika Mocha, standing at the sea, Mika Mocha, freedom is on our way. Singing and dancing, Mika Mocha, singing and dancing, Mika Mocha, singing and dancing, Mika Mocha, freedom is on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom is on our way. The sea sheep parts, Mika Mocha, the sea sheep parts, Mika Mocha, the sea sheep parts, Mika Mocha, freedom is on our way. Walking through the water, Mika Mocha, walking through the water, Mika Mocha, walking through the water, Mika Mocha, freedom is on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom is on our way. On the other side, Mika Mocha, on the other side, Mika Mocha, on the other side, Mika Mocha, freedom is on our way. One God, Mika Mocha, one God, Mika Mocha, one God, Mika Mocha, freedom is on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom is on our way.
Thank you all for the beautiful dancing.
Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you to our flautists.
Our next reader is Wendy Frank. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Another board member, if you don't know.
Adult bodily autonomy is a Jewish value and a fundamental human right, encompassing the ability to make decisions about one's own body, including abortion, reproductive rights, and gender expression. Everybody, protecting this freedom ensures that individuals can live authentically and make informed choices about their health and bodies.
Our next reader is Madison Fredrickson, our videographer, and she is such a big help, and the granddaughter of Cantor Carol.
We believe pregnant people have bodily autonomy as part of a basic human right. It is they who are best suited to know what is right for their own bodies, in consultation with their medical professionals and loved ones, if they choose. Being pregnant is a choice that should never be coerced by public policy. Tonight, we celebrate the Jewish tradition that teaches us to uphold life above all else, yet also provides us with an understanding that the life and well-being of the mother always takes priority over a fetus.
Our next reader is Emily Jacobs Robarts.
Good Shabbos. Through the 40th day following conception, the rabbis treat the fetus as a mere liquid, Maya Ba'alma. According to the Talmud, the fetus is not considered a person until birth. Though cherished as a potential life, the fetus is expressly excluded from the category of human life in Jewish law.
This distinction between what is and what is not considered human life under Jewish law significantly impacts Judaism's historical approach to abortion, prioritizing the well-being of the mother. So the introduction to the Avot Ve'imahot, you might want to sit for just a minute, Roberto. You could sit at the piano if you want. We remember our fathers and mothers with the prayer, Avot Ve'imahot. We remember their sacrifices, but also their strength and commitment and love for our people. Let us praise Adonai, source of knowledge and light, for whom we draw wisdom and insight. Let us savor the fullness of each and every day and fill our souls with the treasures of Shabbat. With a word, says the prayer, Adonai shielded our ancestors, and with a phrase, Adonai gave all things life and took joy in providing rest for your people on your holy Sabbath day. Source of peace, who recalls the time of creation by sanctifying Shabbat, we thank you for granting us rest and overflowing joy. Please join in the Avot Ve'imahot. If it's your custom to rise and body your spirit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chashtei Avot Ve'imahot, U'Mevi Geula, Livnei V'Nehem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'etzrat Sarah. Thank you. You may be seated.
We
honor and acknowledge the importance of
Roberta,
religious...
wait a minute. Roberta Cooper is our next reader.
Okay.
We want to introduce you. You're important.
That's okay.
Okay.
We honor and acknowledge the importance of religious freedom to our people. We know that religious freedom for any of us depends on religious freedom for all of us together.
We gather together in gratitude for the freedom that allows us to live authentically and fully.
I have to comment. When I studied, a fetus was considered alive, a human, when the head and the shoulders were outside of the mother's womb.
We'll take it for granted.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Wait. Marcy Weiss.
Marcy Weiss is our next reader. Thank you.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
May we always protect and cherish our right to learn without religious coercion, our right to love and be loved equally, our right to control our own bodies and express our own identities freely, our right to worship or not worship as our conscience dictates, and our right to be free from the legal imposition of others' religious beliefs.
May these freedoms flourish in our communities and guide us toward a more just and inclusive society. Katie Ryder, one of the people that put this program together, actually. That was her quote. Please join me in Comfort Us. It's a song that I wrote. Comfort us, may you find comfort here. Be at peace, be at peace. There's so much love right here. In the faces of our people, in the hopes of our land, we can make a strong connection We can take each other's hand. We can go out tomorrow and stand strong and understand, 'cause it's up to us to show the world our love. Comfort us, comfort us. May you find comfort here. There are times when we are grieving. There are times we feel blue. There are times when we feel lost and not sure what to do. At those times, lend a hand and guide each other through, 'cause it's up to us to show the world our love. Comfort us, comfort us. May you find comfort here. Thank you. I wanted to say that we dedicate tonight to Rabbi Berry's memory, and of course to all of those that are marginalized in our community, as well as all of those that are in all kinds of needs, you know, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And as we move into the silent meditation, please take a few moments for silence. I don't know what that sound is. It sounds like it's coming from a computer or a phone, but we're just going to pretend that it's supposed to be a sound in the room and meditate to it. So disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency, make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai, deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are no shelter from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, Adonai, and speak to us. Let us hear the voice within that stirs us and spurs us into action and teaches us how to be useful. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Now may we remember as we take a few moments to hear about the people that are ailing.
Tonight, to save a little time, we're just going to have the names on the screen. And if you'd like to call out your names of others in lieu of going around the room, just say the names out loud. We wish everyone a refuah shalema on this list and throughout the world. The families of those who were found murdered last week, we also send refuah shalema to them as well.
Thank you. And please join me in the Misha Beirach. Misha Beirach Avotinu Mikor HaBracha Ve'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Bera Imot bracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Our next reader will be Sandon Chevlin.
Freedom to love. We support and affirm our lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, plus family and community. There is overwhelming support among American Jewry for LGBTQ plus equality. Liberal religious Judaism has expanded its understanding of Jewish values to embrace the LGBTQ plus equality. These values include love your neighbor as yourself from the Torah, Leviticus.
Love yourself no matter who you are. Love others no matter who they are.
I'm next.
Sharon Liebig.
The freedom to love who we choose is fundamental to human dignity and personal fulfillment. Ensuring LGBTQ plus equality means protecting the rights of individuals to express their identities and form loving relationships without fear of discrimination or persecution.
However you identify, dignity is your right.
As Jews, we celebrate and honor love between consenting adults in all its configurations.
Tonight, we acknowledge and celebrate the freedom to be who you are and love whom we desire. Blessed love. Blessed love, holy love, sacred love, abundant love, oh source of love, let your love shine down on me. From below, from above, love I hope I'm worthy of, oh source of love, let your love shine down on me. Before the morning light, I already see it shining. Before I open up my eyes, I already see it shining. When my road is rough, I can feel your love, and if that's enough for me, blessed love, holy love, sacred love, abundant love, oh source of love, let your love shine down on me. As above, so below, love from whom all blessings flow, oh source of love, let your love shine down on me, and the ones I love shine from below and from above. Protect my family and be a light in me. Shine on the ones I love, shine from below and from above. Protect my family and shine your light through me. Be a light in me. Be a light in me. Love. please share a moment of love with your neighbors. Please greet them and say hello.
Our next reader will be Anne Herman.
Thank you. Anne Herman, our next reader. So nice to be able to greet each other. Freedom to learn, Anne.
Yes, thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Education is a cornerstone of personal and societal growth, fostering critical thinking and informed citizenship. Public education free from religious coercion ensures that schools respect the diverse beliefs of all students, allowing them to explore knowledge without bias or pressure to conform to a particular religious ideology.
Tonight, we celebrate the Jewish values that inform our support for the freedom to learn. Important to vote.
Our next reader is Gloria Stein.
Raging Grammy.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
There has been a dramatic increase in the number of book bans by local school boards in recent years, and new state-level laws making it easier for individual parents to ban books for schools in entire districts. Included have been many books about the Holocaust, such as Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, and the masterpiece Mayus. Textbooks have also been rewritten to downplay the suffering of African Americans before and after slavery, and the experiences of other minor populations.
Thank you. Our next reader will be Suzanne Burstein. Suzanne?
She's coming. Thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with us tonight. This is a beautiful service, and yeah,
Thank you to all our readers. We really wanted to make it a participatory service, and we thank all of our readers. Suzanne is our last reader, and thank you.
Freedom of belief. On this Shabbat, we unite with purpose and resolve to recommit ourselves to the core freedoms that help define and guide the United States from its earliest days.
We celebrate our incredibly good fortune that, as Americans, we can exercise our convictions freely, no matter our faith or beliefs.
Let us find in our religious and secular practices the determination to overcome adversity, rise above our differences, and come together as one nation to meet whatever challenges we face.
Tonight, we honor and celebrate our freedom from the freedom of religion in nearly all aspects of public policy in the United States. Ruth, would you like to join us for the piano to do the Torah procession? I'd like to call up for carrying Torah, Cindy Melamed, Cindy Melamed, and Jim Garrett. Thank you. I can get your name right. Yeah. Thank you. I'm Yisrael Chai, A minor. I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael, I'm Yisrael Chai. I'd like to call up my dear friend Maya Malay to give us a few moments as her and Ruth change positions. Thank you so much, dancers. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for being here, and what a special service it is this evening. As we look at this and the topic that we're focused on this evening, and we really consider the importance of this, and also not to be complacent in the face of this, I also want to encourage that we not let purpose or opposition taint the purity of our own hearts and our capacity to love. And this is sometimes the case when we find we're coming up against forces that seem contrary to that which is right and fair and just. So it's important that at times like this, without being complacent, that we also look at freeing ourselves from any stains of hatred or contempt that we would hold in our hearts towards others, no matter who they might be. So through understanding, we come to feel more peace and love and compassion in our hearts for those whose minds, if we want to talk about, right, I'm a Buddhist, so I talk a lot about spiritual psychology and the psychology of Buddhism. We study a lot the nature of how our conditioned mind operates and how we become in a sleep state often in response to that. And so when we can look to the world and the diluted ideas and viewpoints that other people are engaging and enforcing and imposing on others of us who are in disagreement and who perhaps are seeing more clearly, if we have an understanding of the human mind and the nature of how a thought, an idea, a belief can go in and appear so real and so valid, and then we can seek evidence which convinces us that even a diluted thought, meaning if it's not founded on anything, can appear so to a person. And they can get into discussion over it, which can breed arguing and indifference. The idea is sometimes my idea is the right one. And if my idea is different than your idea, one of us must be wrong here. That is the case in some cases, for certain. And again, that's where we have compassion for those who are engaged in false thinking, in distorted thinking, in thinking that's governed by that which is not governed by love, by the consideration of all people and the freedom for all. So if we can understand how a deluded mind is a suffering being, and in that ignorance, those people, in this case, those beings, but people, are creating their own negative karma, maybe not immediately, but at some point. And if we, instead of having hatred towards that ignorance, for which they're very unconscious of in some cases, in spite of their actions, in spite of their behaviors, their distorted mind is justifying these things. And that's how extreme our human mind can be. We can see the most loving being and the worst. And we all say, this is the nature of the potential our mind holds to be the worst or to be the most loving. For those of us that are seeking love, that are looking towards freedom, that want equality for all, and not to forfeit that which is going to bring all of us greater happiness, love, and peace, and harmony in the world, it's important we refrain from our own sense of contempt. And often what leads us to think, I don't like that person because they're operating at a lower level than I am, which is often the case. They are. That ignorance often produces that level of unconsciousness and the bad, if not horrendous, horrific behavior that stems out of that. If we instead can regard that with a compassionate attitude of those beings are lost. We talk about samsara in Buddhism, a realm of suffering. And we say beings are lost and wandering in some suffering and samsara. And that's the nature of their ignorance that produces the vile attitudes and behaviors. So if we can have compassion when we see that and yet implement the actions, the words to start to support others out of that and the delusions and the negative results it produces in the world, then we ourselves can still remain in the purity of our hearts and in the hopes and with some degree, hopefully the certainty that all will wake up and the ignorance will be dispelled. And through that, not only religious freedom, but hopefully religious harmony, and even beyond that, harmony among all people and the ability to support each other in our differences with appreciation, while also moving our society away from the decline and the fall that we've already encountered, and hopefully preventing the further of that as we move forward. So let's stay in our hearts and always reside in the power of love, which is the greatest power there is, while we take action, speak up, and unite together for the good of all. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. Beautifully said, as always. Your heart is so beautiful and open. I'd like to call up for just a couple minutes, a couple words, Deborah Tendrich. Sorry.
I wasn't expecting to speak tonight, so I'm just going to speak from my heart. My name is Deborah Tendrich, and aside from running for the Florida House, I run a nonprofit that feeds families that can't afford to eat. And so every day, everyone who volunteers with us, there's a saying that I like I use that means a lot to me. Change inspires change, and the more change we create, the more change we inspire. And just to merge the two with serving the community and making sure that everyone is accepted. When people walk through our doors, we don't ask what party you are, what is your religion, what is your faith, what do you feel? The only question we ask is, how can we help you? And when people are in those positions to make decisions for people, and they use religion and their own personal beliefs to trample or to enforce their beliefs onto you, that's overstepping their positions, right? And so we see people every single day walking through our doors. Today we actually had 2 Holocaust survivors who came in and they needed some support, right? And so when you look at the bigger picture of things, these are culture wars. These are things that distract us from what really matters. Being able to afford to live here, being able to spend quality time with your family, having access to healthcare, making sure that we can have clean air, clean water, and just a good quality of life overall. And so if we can take away the smoke and the flames and all this distraction and actually focus on what matters, I think that's what we're really trying to do here. And I think the message that we came across tonight was really about not trampling on each other, just asking how you can help, how you can be a neighbor, and how you can make sure that everyone around you feels accepted. And that's what I'll do in every step of the way, from just serving the community on the ground, but also when I go to Tallahassee, I'll make sure that everyone is supported. There's no one's belief being trampled on. Everyone is heard and respected, but make sure that we understand that everybody has their own struggles, their own trials, their own tribulations that they're dealing with every single day. And when we add these culture wars on top of that, and trying to point blame and prove points, we take away from what we really need to do for the community. And that's just make sure that we all feel included and supported, and that we can live another day together and do the best for each other. So I want to say thank you for giving me a moment, but this service meant a lot. This is my first time back here since the passing of Barry, who is very special to me. And so I'm a little bit, in my feelings right now, but I just really, really appreciate being here today and for everyone still showing up. And thank you, Carol, for everything. Thank you.
I just wanted to tell everybody that our donations of food on Yom Kippur Day, our annual food drive, will all be going to Deborah's organization. And it did last year as well. So thank you, Deborah.
And thank you, Deborah, for everything you do. All of you for everything that you do. We have a song, another song. We Are Loved. And if you know it, sing along. And if you don't, sing along. We are loved, love, love, by an unending love, unending love. We are loved, love, love, by an unending ourselves. We are supported by the hands that lift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, unending love. Fritz?
You like to say a word or two? Yeah.
I did not see you, Fritz. Thank you. By the way, on Yom Kippur, we are going to have an interfaith dialogue in honor of Rabbi Barry, who always did that. And Fritz and a few other people, Maya, have agreed to be there. I hope you'll stay. It'll be on Yom Kippur at 1 o'clock. 1:30. 1:30.
On October
And I'm going to be
Pastor Fritz
officiating it.
Oftenkamp. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think this is the first time I've been here since Barry passed. I think it is. I'm so thankful to see that this place is still alive and doing so well. I'm speaking North Carolina in a couple of weeks to a group, and it will have to do with church and state. And so I'm going to get some information from this service. I will be sharing it. So I hope that Sharon will share some of this with me, because we need to get this word out. Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you for being here and for being such a good friend. So Shoftim is the portion, the Parsha for today, the portion. This week we received the Parsha of Shoftim. How fitting it is that we celebrate religious freedom this week, the week that the Torah establishes limits of power of their judges, kings, priests, and prophets. The Torah lays the groundwork for our judicial system, preventing them from gaining absolute domination and prestige. Our First Amendment to the Constitution states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Religions throughout the world in percentages are Christianity, 31.6%, Muslims, 25.8%, Hindus, 15.1%, unaffiliated, 14.4%, Buddhists, 6.6%, other folk religions, 5.4%, and just other religions in general, aside from Judaism, 0.8%. The Asia-Pacific region, has a high concentration of religious groups, including 99% of all Buddhists and Hindus that live in the Asia-Pacific region. 90% of folk or traditional religions and 89% of the world religions also live in Asia-Pacific region. Okay, so this mouse shows up to heaven and is given a skateboard and a key to their new home. The mouse says, "Oh, that's cool. Now I can get around on heaven so much easier." And all of his mouse friends are behind him, and each happy with their new lot, getting their new home and a key and a skateboard. Later that day, a cat shows up to heaven and is given the key to his new home and a shiny electric car. Later that day, Satyr Peter visits the cat's house to check on him. "How are you liking heaven?" he asks the cat. "Oh, it's truly wonderful, sir. I especially like those meals on wheels." Hate is taught. Hate is taught. We are not born with hate. Hate is learned. Last week we spoke about choices, but some of our habits are not our choice. The Taliban or similar fundamental extremists have invaded and taken over Afghanistan, Yemen, Palestine, Iran, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Iraq, to name a few. 6 hostages were recovered in tunnels of Gaza this week. One was an Israeli American. They were among the more than 200 people that were taken by militant Gazans following their deadly cross-border rampage on October the 7th. We pray for all of those families. Muslims are the majority in 49 countries, including parts of South Asia, Northern Africa, and the Middle East. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world due to forced marriages, forced conversions, higher birth rates, and the inability of that group of women to make their own choices. 49 countries for the Palestinians to live in, and yet only Israel is the place they wish to destroy, because it is in their charter that they annihilate all Jewish people. The bottom line is that the Palestinians are not after the land of their freedom, but the annihilation of a whole ethnic and religious population, which only comprises 0.2% of the world population. Now, of course, not all Palestinians, because these are the extremist Palestinians. Israel's population is estimated at 73.2% Jewish. This number includes the Jews living outside of Israel's border in the West Bank. 21.1% of Israel's population are Arab. This group includes people who identify as Palestinian, Druze, Caucasian, Christians, Arabs, and Armenians. Another 5.7% of Israel's population are classified as others. That group includes people with Jewish ancestry, but they are not recognized as Jews because of their affiliations, non-Jewish family members, or their Jewish immigrants. Christians, other than Arabs and Armenians, and people without a distinct ethnic or religious categorization are considered part of the other. In the Middle Ages, we had crusades where Christians slaughtered or converted all those that did not conform. But this type of forced domination is not a thing of the past. Today, here in America, Christians work tirelessly to essentially, in many states, take away the rights of women to choose by overturning Roe v. Wade. And of course, we also have many Christians and as well as other religious allies, and we are grateful for them. Not all Christians, of course, are into, in fact, not all the Christians even agree, but there's a huge percentage of Christians that fought, and those are the ones that took away Roe v. Wade. There are laws set in motion to restrict and deny access and rights to women, immigrants, children, gender, sexuality, and the poor. The government wants to make rules for us in our homes, and our private lives, and our health care, and in our bedrooms. Democrats and the poor have generally been the least likely to vote in any election, and it has been demonstrated that they are the least likely to go to the polls if they believe that they have already taken the lead. Democrats and the poor are also the most likely to believe that their vote doesn't count, therefore not even registering to vote. But it is the power of the people, the power of each and every one of us, that makes us our citizenry. And the only way to use that power is by your single and important vote. Also by writing to your representatives, by being informed about what is happening and using your pen, your phone calls, and your vote to make sure that what laws and issues you want to see being supported are known to your representatives. Your voice matters. Our role as Jews was to carve out a democracy of fairness and freedom. Our founding fathers used the basis of our Jewish laws to create the Constitution. Tzedek, tzedek, tiroch lema'an, justice, justice, you shall pursue, that you may thrive and occupy the land that the Lord has given you. Pursue carries strong connotation of eagerness and effort. This implies that we do not merely respect or follow justice, we must actively pursue it, says Heschel. Are you registered to vote? Have you signed in to register for your absentee ballot if you know that you won't go out? If you don't know how, ask someone. Call me. Speak to your representatives, some that are here with us today, and tell them what you want to see them doing in their roles to represent you. We cannot allow our freedoms to be stripped away by small groups of people who do not follow the tenets of impartiality, justice, human dignity, and rights. Thanks for listening and being here as a light to the nations. Thank you for your support. Go forth and shine your light. Shabbat Shalom.
As an absentee, you have to do it again this year, and it's very simple.
So Wendy is saying, and speak to her after if you want to know, that if you did register last year, you need to re-register again because they've done a lot to change districts and change the way you can vote and, get rid of your absentee ballot information. So talk to Wendy or go to the DMV or call them and they'll help you register. Also, you could speak to Debbie or myself. Please rise if it's in your tradition for the Aleinu, in body, mind, or spirit. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'ateh gedula liyotzeh bereshit shelo asanu goye haratzot velo samanu k'mishpechot hadama shelo sam kilkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam ve'anach Nu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hagu yeh Adonai echad ushemo echad. Amen. Were you wanting to say something else? Back there. I saw another hand up. Okay, raise your hand. Go talk to her if you want to talk to somebody about the League of Women Voters. Thank you. And I'm going to pass it over to Sharon to lead us in the Kaddish.
Please be seated. We'd like to remember and honor those who have recently passed: Dr. Stanley Block, Sheila Cohn, Anna Farron, and Rabbi Barry Silver, and the 6 civilian hostages that were held by Hamas since October 7, 2023, and were gruesomely murdered about a week ago: Ori Danino, Carmel Gott, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Alexander Lobanov, Almag Sarusi, Eden Yerushalami. The September yardsites that we remember with love: Adam Beaumont, Irv Berenson, Shirley Binder, Linda Gitterman Brenner, Frida Russo, Robert Scott Kuzi, Jack Fallick, Barbara Feynman, Betty Friedman, Faggy Friedenberg, Rick Glass, Carmen Gomez, Lawrence Greenberg, Clifford Melman, Jean Kahn, Dr. Max Kamen, Vera Kamen, David Kaminsky, Max Kupferschmidt, Esther Lerman, Maurice Lerman, Bruce Malamed, Isidore Poritz, Ruth Poritz, Sylvia Resnikoff, Libby Rubin, William Schwartz, Evie Sharef, Seymour Siegel, Sally Silva, Lee Silver, Louis Skolnick, Dorothy Stillerman, William Vagoya, George Vogel, and Douglas Wolfe. Are there any others?
The 4 people that were killed in Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you. Any others? Wendy?
Richard Sherwin.
And someone in the back. Thank you. We remember them all with love. Please rise for the Kaddish. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrah kirsei, v'yamlich machusei, v'chayachon uv'mechon uv'chayedachal beis Yisrael, v'agala v'yismaron kari v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Olamei Olamaya. Yisparach v'yistabach v'yisparar v'yisramam v'yisnaseh v'yishadar v'yishalal v'yishalel shemeda kudasha b'rechu le'elam minko berchasa v'shirasa tush bechasa v'nechamasa damiram v'yalma v'yimeru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'yalko Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol Yoshvei Tevel, v'yimeru. Amen. May their memories be for blessings, and may we hold on to all of the best in each of them and keep them alive through us. And let us say together, Amen. Please be seated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shabbat shalom to every one of you. I send a special thank you to all of the people who participated in tonight's service, who had anything to do with tonight's service, especially Cantor Carol. And we have Josh Egosi, and we have Sandon Chevlin, and Ruth, who also gave us beautiful music, and all of our participants who read for us. Thank you all for coming and being here. On Tuesday, September 10th, we have our Touch of Jewish History at 7 p.m. on Zoom. Our subject this Tuesday will be Ruth Bader Ginsburg in honor of religious freedom, because there's not somebody that stands for it more than she did. May she rest in peace. Next Friday, September 13th, we will have our in-person Shabbat here, also on Zoom and YouTube. And we will have a stand-in for Cantor Carol. We'll have Chaplain Jan Court and Ruth Nodiff, who will be doing our service because Cantor Carol will be away with her family. On October 2nd, 3rd, 11th, and 12th, we'll have our High Holy Day services with Rabbi Aviva Bass and Cantor Carol. We'll be holding them at the Movies of Delray, and please let us know if you'd like a ticket. They're also organizing transportation for the residents here, and we'll be offering those tickets at a discounted rate to you if you're interested. On October 6th, Sunday at 12:30 p.m., we'll have Tashlich by the water. Cast away your sins through any kind of breadcrumbs. We'll be doing that at the Hive restaurant. Bring any kind of breadcrumbs to throw into the waters there. And then if you RSVP, as soon as possible, we're going to be dining together for lunch following, and we look forward to that event. Look for L'Dor Va-Dor on our social media, our website, l'dorvador.org, our Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Please stay for our Oneg Shabbat, which is in the back corner here, and we thank everybody that's helped put that together. And we hope that you'll stay for the Oneg Shabbat. If we have any new people, if you could raise your hand to let us know that you're new to our service tonight, just so that we can meet and greet you at the Oneg and give you your fair share of warmth from L'Dor Va-Dor. We wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom. Again, thank you for being part of this service and a part of L'Dor Va-Dor.
Thank you, Sharon, for all that you do. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for all of you that participated and for saying yes as we continue to try to honor Rabbi Barry and to keep his memory alive and to keep this temple going. We need every single one of you. We need you to come. We need you to tell us what you think. We need to hear from you. We need you to join. We need you to be there. Speak to us. Tell us what you're thinking so that we know. As the sun sinks and the colors of the day turn, we offer a blessing for the twilight. For twilight is neither day nor night, but in between. We are all twilight people. We can never be fully labeled or defined. We are many identities and loves, many genders and none. We are in-between roles at the intersection of histories or between place and place. We are the crisscross paths of memory and destination, streaks of light swirled together. We are neither day nor night. We are both, neither, and all. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, and widen our vision. We cannot always define. We can always say a blessing. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the twilight. Amen. This song was written actually by a good friend who also happens to be LGBTQ. And this song was really written for kids when she goes to these different camps and speaks to the kids about what can they do. The song is called I Have a Voice, because you do, you have a voice. But it really reaches all of us, I think. So. I will open my eyes, I will open my eyes, I will not look away, I will not look away. I will use this gift I've been given every day. I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give of myself, I will give of myself, I will reach out my hand, I'll reach out my hand. I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand. I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world. Change the world, change the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam she'asanu, b'tselem Elohim. It's up to all of us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam she'asanu, b'tselem Elohim. I have a voice, your voice is powerful, your voice can change the world. You have a voice, your voice is powerful, your voice can change the world. Change the world, change the world. I will fight for the truth, I'll stand up for what's right. I will use this strength I've been given to be alive. You have a voice, our voice is powerful, our voice can change the world. We have a voice, our voice is powerful, our voice can change the world. Change the world, change the world, change the world, change the world. Thank you. We're going to say goodnight to all of those on, no? Okay, we're going to do the motzi first. Thank you, Valerie. You want to come up front and so everybody can see it in front of the camera, please? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Sharon, Madison, Josh, Sandon, and every single one of you, both online and in person. Thank you for being here. Shabbat Shalom. Good night.